You shower, you freshen up, you do everything right. Yet there's still a faint smell you just can't shake. If you're a woman over 60, you're not imagining it. Today we're uncovering 7 hidden hygiene mistakes that no one talks about, but every woman deserves to know the best part. They're easy to fix. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Secrets Health Radio channel. It make for your healthy life. Have you ever experienced that moment? A subtle, lingering smell like urine that just seems to hang around even after you've showered or tried everything to feel fresh? If you're navigating your 60s and beyond, please know you are absolutely not alone in this. It's a surprisingly common challenge for many older women. And it is often caused by simple everyday habits we might not even realize are working against us. There is absolutely no need to feel embarrassed. I want to walk you through 7 common missteps that could be subtly impacting your confidence and making you feel less than your freshest self. Stick with me, because uncovering these insights and learning some practical, doctor-recommended solutions can truly make a difference in how clean, comfortable, and confident you feel in your golden years. Trust me, I wish I knew these tips sooner. Let's start with something many of us quietly deal with. Ignoring light leaks. We rarely talk about it openly. It's not exactly book club conversation, but light bladder leakage is far more common than most of us realize. I'm not talking about major accidents, but those small, unexpected drips that happen when you laugh a little too heartily at a joke, sneeze during allergy season, or just move quickly while carrying groceries. For too long, I just brushed it off as a one-off thing, convincing myself it was no big deal, just a fluke maybe because I drank too much tea. But over time, those little moments added up, and I started noticing something I couldn't ignore. A faint, persistent odor that seemed to follow me no matter how clean I thought I was. At first, I blamed everything else, my laundry, detergent, my age, even my furniture. It never even crossed my mind that the issue could be lingering in my undergarments. But the truth is, even a tiny amount of urine from these small leaks can settle into your underwear, your pants, even your furniture if you were not careful. And if you were like I used to be, you might hang those clothes back up or toss them over a chair thinking, I will wear these again tomorrow. They're fine. But that's exactly where the problem starts. That tiny bit of moisture, that warmth, it becomes a perfect breeding ground for bacteria. And bacteria, my friends, absolutely means odor. What makes it trickier is that as we age, our sense of smell often weakens, so we might not even notice the problem ourselves, but the people around us probably do. I will never forget a moment at a family gathering when my daughter-in-law gently suggested I change my sweater because it smelled like the couch. I was mortified, but it was the wake-up call I needed. Doctors really emphasize that light bladder leakage, even if it's just occasional, is not something to ignore. It's not just about the inconvenience. It's fundamentally about hygiene and your self-confidence. Thankfully, the solutions aren't too drastic. Moisture-wicking underwear specifically designed for light leaks or thin incontinence liners can be absolute game changers. They are discreet, comfortable, and truly blend into your daily routine. When I started using liners, it felt like rediscovering my confidence. No more worrying about that faint smell when I leaned in for a hug or sat through a long meeting. And yes, talking about embarrassment is important. It's hard to admit you might need these products, but I learned the real embarrassment is when others notice an odor you were completely unaware of. I truly wish someone had told me years ago, this is normal, and therein an easy fix. So I'm telling you now. Don't to ignore those little leaks. Protect your dignity, your hygiene, and your peace of mind with the right tools. Moving on, let's talk about mistake number 2. Using the wrong soaps for years. I was convinced that the path to staying fresh was scrubbing with the strongest, most fragrant soap I could find. My bathroom looked like a perfume counter. My logic was simple. If it smelled strong and left my skin squeaky clean, It must be working right. Oh, how wrong I was. It took me far too long to realize those heavily perfumed soaps and body washes were actually making things worse, especially as I got older. As we age, our skin changes, it becomes thinner, drier, and much more sensitive, particularly in intimate areas. After menopause, those harsh fragrance-filled soaps I loved were stripping away my skin and natural protective oils, leaving it irritated and vulnerable. Even worse, they were throwing off my body in delicate pH balance, creating an environment where bacteria could easily thrive, when the odors started creeping in. Not because I washed clean, but because my skin was fighting a losing battle against irritation from the very products I thought were helping. I remember showering, feeling sparkling clean, only to catch a whiff of a musty scent by lunchtime. Believing I thought I was doing everything perfectly, scrubbing away with my floral body wash, it was a humbling realization that my efforts were backfiring. A candid conversation with my doctor completely changed my perspective. She explained that aging skin, especially in sensitive areas, needs gentle care, not an assault from perfume soaps. Her simple advice: switch to a mild, unscented soap, or in some cases, just warm water. I was skeptical, just warm water, but I tried it. I swapped my tropical body wash for a fragrance-free, hypoallergenic cleanser. Within a week, I noticed a difference. My skin felt calmer, less irritated, and that midday musty smell, it was gone. I didn't need to keep freshening up or dousing myself in perfume. It was a revelation. Believing sometimes the secret to smelling clean isn't about adding more scent. It's about removing what's causing the problem in the first place. If you are still reaching for those heavily fragrant soaps, take it from me. Less is truly more, and your skin will absolutely thank you. Now let's tackle mistake number 3, forgetting to change liners and pads regularly. If you wear liners or pads for light leaks, post-menopausal changes, or just for extra comfort, this is crucial. I used to put a liner in the morning and completely forget about it all day. My logic was, if it did to feel soaked, it was still good. Plus, let's be honest, those things add up. But herein, what I didn't understand. Even if a liner or pad feels dry on the surface, it's still absorbing tiny amounts of moisture throughout the day. That warm, moist environment quickly becomes a perfect breeding ground for bacteria. And that bacteria leads to odors that build up slowly, almost imperceptibly. But surely I started noticing a faint sour smell by the evening, especially on busy days. It made me incredibly self-conscious. I do check my clothes, sniff my jacket, even wonder if my deodorant had failed. It wasn't until I spoke to my doctor that I learned the truth. Liners and pads need to be changed every few hours, even if they don't seem full. It's not about being wasteful. It's about protecting your skin and keeping odors at bay. Bacteria don't care if the liner looks clean. They are thriving in that hidden moisture. Making the switch to a more regular changing routine was a game changer. I also discovered Rousseau washable liners, which are not only better for my wallet but also gentler on my skin. I started carrying a small pouch with a few extras in my purse so I could change discreetly anywhere. The difference was truly night and day. That sour scent was gone, and I felt genuinely fresher and more confident from morning until night. If you're wearing the same liner from breakfast to bedtime, it's time to rethink that habit. Your skin deserves better, and you will absolutely feel the difference when you prioritize hygiene over just convenience. Herein mistake number 4. Wearing synthetic underwear for years. My drawer was full of soft, stretchy synthetic panties. They were affordable. They didn't ride up. They came in cute colors. I thought I found the perfect balance of comfort and style. But I started noticing that, no matter how often I showered or changed, I felt damp and uncomfortable, leaving down there, even on cool days. Worse, that faint, persistent odor seemed to cling to me despite using body spray. I was baffled. Was it my detergent? My diet? It was, until a visit to my doctor, that I got the clear answer. Synthetic underwear was the culprit. Fabrics, like taste or nylon, might feel lovely and look stylish, but they are terrible for breathability. They trap heat and moisture right against your skin, creating that perfect warm, damp environment where bacteria love to grow. This is especially problematic if you're dealing with light bladder leakage or the natural changes of aging, like postmenopausal dryness or sensitivity. My doctor's advice was incredibly simple, but eye-opening. Switch to cotton, always cotton. Admit, I rolled my eyes a little. Cotton underwear, it sounded so practical, plain, maybe a bit boring, but I decided to try it. I cleared out my drawer and invested in a stack of 100% cotton underwear. The difference was immediate. Cotton is naturally breathable, absorbing moisture and allowing air to circulate, which keeps everything drier and more comfortable. No more sticky, damp feeling halfway through the day. My laundry even stopped smelling strange. And I felt a confidence I hadn't even realized I'd lost. I even found cotton styles that were just as comfortable and flattering as my old synthetics, proof that you absolutely don't have to sacrifice style for function. If you buy still holding onto those shiny stretchy panties because they're familiar or cheap, please do yourself a favor and make the switch. Your skin, your nose, and your confidence will genuinely thank you. Comfort without odor is always in style. Mistake number 5. Not drinking enough water. For years, I genuinely believed drinking less water was a clever strategy to manage my bathroom trips. My thinking was simple, almost embarrassingly so. Less water in meant fewer trips out, sparing me the inconvenience or potential embarrassment of needing to go during outings or social events. It seemed practical, especially as I got older and noticed bladder sensitivity. Less water, less urgency, right? Or so I thought. I saw it as a foolproof plan to maintain control. What I did to understand was that this approach was completely backfiring in ways I had to anticipate it. By deliberately cutting back on water, I was unknowingly setting myself up for problems far beyond mere inconvenience. Believing dehydration doesn't just make you thirsty, it fundamentally changes how your body functions. One of the most surprising consequences was how it impacted my hygiene, specifically the odor of my urine. When you don't drink enough water, your urine becomes highly concentrated. It turns a darker shade, sometimes a deep amber, and it develops a pungent, sharp smell that is impossible to ignore. This isn't just a minor annoyance. It's a clear signal that your body isn't getting the fluid it needs to flush out waste effectively. Worse still, concentrated urine doesn't just stay in your bladder. Even a small leaf from a cough, a laugh, or just a weak moan can leave a lingering odor that clings to your skin, your clothing, even the furniture. I learned this the hard way for a while. I just blamed it on aging, telling myself this is just what happens when you get older. I felt resigned, like my body was betraying me. I was constantly self-conscious, checking myself, avoiding close contact with others, worried they would notice something was off. The turning point came when I decided to just experiment with drinking more water. Not huge amounts, just a steady habit of sipping a glass here and there throughout the day. The change was almost miraculous. Within days, my urine was lighter in color, almost clear, and that sharp, unpleasant odor began to fade. But the benefits didn't stop there. My skin, which had looked dull and tired, seemed to regain a bit of its glow. I felt more energized, less sluggish. It was as if my body was finally thanking me for giving it what it desperately needed. Drinking more water, I learned, does so much more than just quench thirst. It helps your kidneys filter out toxins, keeps your urinary system functioning smoothly, and prevents waste from building up in your body. It's like giving your insides a thorough rinse, flushing out impurities, and keeping everything running as it should. For those of us who worry about bladder leaks or needing the bathroom often, the fear of accidents can make hydration feel like a risk. But I found that with a little plan, using absorbent liners, scheduling bathroom breaks, maybe even practicing pelvic floor exercises, you can stay beautifully hydrated without sacrificing your confidence. Denying your body water is like starving it of a basic necessity. It's not just about hygiene, it's about your overall health, your comfort, and feeling your absolute best. So please, grab that extra glass of water. Your body will thank you in ways you never expected. Let's move to mistake number 6, sitting too long without washing up. After I retired, my days naturally took on a slower, more sedentary pace. Evening I do spend hours reading, watching shows, doing crosswords. Some days I do stay in my cozy nightgown well past noon, enjoying the luxury of not having to rush anywhere. It felt like a well-earned reward. But what I did to realize was that this sedentary lifestyle was creating an unexpected problem, one that affected not just my physical comfort, but my sense of self. When you sit for long periods, especially in warm, snug clothing or on padded furniture, you create a microenvironment in your pelvic area that's warm, humid, and less than ideal for hygiene. Sweat, natural skin, oils, and even minor bladder leaks can accumulate there, especially if you're not moving around or freshening up regularly. Over time, this moisture and warmth become a breeding ground for bacteria, leading to odors that no amount of body spray can truly mask. At first, I did to notice it. It's easy to get used to gradual changes in your own body. But the odor was just minor. It was a subtle but persistent reminder that something wasn't quite right. The moment that truly changed everything came during a visit from my granddaughter. She climbed into my lap for a cuddle, and with that unfiltered honesty only children have, she wrinkled her nose and said, "Grandma, you smell like something wet." My heart just sank. Not because she meant to hurt me, but because her innocent observation hit such a nerve. She was right. I had allowed myself to slip into habits that were compromising my dignity, and it stung to realize it. That moment was a powerful wake-up call. It pushed me to rethink my daily routine. Now I make a conscious effort to break up long periods of sitting, even if it's just a quick walk to the kitchen or a stretch in the living room. I get up every hour or so to keep things moving. More importantly, I've built in a simple midday hygiene routine. A quick wash with warm water and a soft, clean cloth takes just a minute, but it makes a world of difference. I also make it a point to change into fresh clothes daily, even if I haven't left the house. These small changes have profoundly restored my confidence and sense of self-respect. It's not about vanity. It's about truly caring for yourself in a way that feels dignified. Your body absolutely deserves that kind of attention, no matter how cozy those long, lazy days might feel. Finally, let you address the 7th mistake, neglecting the laundry routine. Specifically, the intimate underwear, those comfy lounge pants, the nightgowns you love. We don't often talk about this openly. I'll admit, I used to be a bit lax. If something didn't have visible stains or an obvious smell, I'd think it was fine to wear again. Why add to the laundry pile? It seemed practical. But as I've gotten older, I've learned my body and my clothes don't to play by the same rules anymore. Even items that looked clean started to carry a faint, lingering odor after just a few hours. Believing it was too overpowering, but it was enough to make me self-conscious. Evo, put on clean pants, and by mid-morning catch a whiff of something that made me wonder, is that me or is it the clothes? The answer, I learned, was often both. Doctors and hygiene experts explain that bacteria from sweat, minor leaks, and even your skin in natural oils can embed themselves deep in fabrics. This is especially true for tight or synthetic materials like taste or Sendex. These materials don't breathe as well as cotton, trapping moisture and odors against your skin. The problem gets compounded if you're not washing these items thoroughly. Leaving standard laundry cycles, especially with cold water or mild detergents, might not fully eliminate bacteria or those embedded odors. Over time, even supposedly clean clothes can develop a musty smell that clings to you, undermining that fresh feeling after a shower. I used to wonder why I didn't feel as clean as I expected despite my efforts. It wasn't until I completely overhauled my laundry routine that I realized how much my clothes were working against me. Now I am meticulous. I wash my underwear, lounge pants, and nightgowns separately. Leaving I use hot water and add a splash of white vinegar to the psych. It really helps neutralize odors and kill bacteria. I make absolutely sure everything is fully dried. Damp clothes are a recipe for mustiness. And crucially, I never rewear these items without washing them first, no matter how clean they might look. It's a bit more work, yes, but the payoff is immense. There is a quiet confidence that comes with knowing you truly smell fresh, that your clothes are genuinely clean, and that you are presenting your best self to the world. It's not just about hygiene. It's about reclaiming control over how you feel in your own skin. Trust me, a little extra effort in the laundry room can make all the difference. Ladies, we've walked through these 7 crucial points to help you stay fresh, confident, and comfortable in your golden years. From addressing light bladder leaks with the right products, to choosing gentle soaps, staying hydrated, and keeping your laundry routine on point, these are all about empowering you to take control of your hygiene and feel your best every single day. I truly hope this has opened your eyes to simple changes that can make a massive difference in how you feel and carry yourself. It's never too late to prioritize your comfort and care for yourself with the dignity you deserve. You don't need to feel embarrassed or alone. Your body is simply changing, and there are smart, loving ways to change with it. Be small shifts, from what you wear to how often you hydrate, can transform how you feel every day. You deserve to feel fresh, respected, and radiant in your skin. If you've found value today, leave a comment. Let's build a community of women who aren't too afraid to talk about real issues and who choose dignity over discomfort. Leaving until next time, keep loving and caring for the one body that carries you through this beautiful life. If even one of these tips gave you a nahahi moment, leave a comment with the number of the tip that stood out to you. And if you want more videos like this, designed especially for wise women embracing their golden years, subscribe and ring the bell. This channel is your space for real talk, no judgment.